Hey guys, just finished watching the PlayStation Conference thing for the new console and the Slim. And aye, it's fucking weird, like it's weird how the gaming industry is working right now where a complete like a console launch. I know it's like in between like a 4.5, not a 5, but like that a console reveal can have so little to do with the games itself, really. They showed off so many games. First of all, they got the Slim at the way, which is cool. It looked exactly what the leaked was. Decent price, whatever. That sort of shit, right? Eh, whatever. And then they started showing games off, and then I think they were talking about the main things they were driving home was like 4K, 4K, 4K. But more importantly than that, HDR, high dynamic range, right? And I know a tiny wee bit about that just from doing like photography. Like, just I know roughly what it does, and I know what it does, and I know roughly how to use it. But it wasn't until there that like really saw it working in like a medium that I'm really interested in. And of all the things, that was the thing that most excited me. The thing that least excited me, right? Apart from the fact, well, there's two things. The first thing is every single game they showed pretty much. I actually can't think of one where they didn't really do this. Is all the trailers, like whether it was in-game footage or whether it was CGIs or whatever, all it was like pans in the background, like Xenoblade Chronicles trailers. Like Xenoblade Chronicles is a good game, but it never gets represented the way it is, because all you get is like a montage of them running through different locations. You're like, it's cool, different areas. That's kind of what Xenoblade's about, but it doesn't show you anything about the game. And I feel like that whole conference was like that. It's so weird, man. God. But this dynamic range, it was class. It was class. Like, fair enough. They were trying to drive home the fact that you could see both. The best way to explain it is, when you see an image, and it's like maybe sunset or something like that, or it's like facing into the sun, right? And either the sky's too bright and it's not blue, it's like normally white or like orange, and you can't see the full. It's like there's a big white spot where the sun is. That's when it's too bright, right? But when it comes to the land, you could have the land too dark, but the sky really nice. It's hard to explain. Pretty much, yeah, you can't get. It's really hard to at least get a photograph like into the sun where the foreground, maybe it's like a village, or maybe it's like the city, right? The city's exposed well. It's the colours are great, the lighting's great, everything like that, and also have the sky all blue and perfectly represented, right? That's what high dynamic range really does. It allows for that extra differentiation in colours, so that you can. I don't know exactly how it works in lighting and stuff, so that you can achieve that like good sky, good foreground, and they showed it off with like the neon. I think it's Infamous. Didn't really catch that much. Infamous with the neon shit. Like, there's a lot of different colors. Like there's a broader spectrum of colors on display. And like in that Days Gone, I fucking hate that game so much. I don't know why. It's one of those games that's just like, I see it and I'm like, oh, why? Why is there another zombie fucking game that looks like a cross between Resident Evil 4, which is a good game, and Dead Rising, which is also quite a good game, and like Last of Us, which is also a good game. So I don't know why I shouldn't like it, but whatever. But it was showing like nighttime scenes. Like, it showed you a daytime scene, it was pretty cool, like, but I was like, well, whatever. But nighttime scenes, right? You can see the stars. You can see, even in really dark patches. Like this is really the difference, right? When you try and film something in the dark with a shit camera, right? It's quite dark. You might see wee bits of color, wee blobs, right? or if you have a really good camera that can, shooting it well in the dark, you can have like the details, like silhouettes. You can have kind of like really dark but wee light bits, like when you're when you get the lights out and then someone's walking, like, I don't know, candlelit stuff. Candlelit stuff's the best way to explain it, right? When you've got something by candlelight, it's really hard to film that kind of thing on a shit camera. On a class camera, you've got all the tones, the shadows are all correct, like the flame is not like all white, and everything around it's not too dark. It's just like every, not just one focus of the scene is focused on. The whole thing is focused on, and it's hard to explain. If you watched it, you'd know. You could probably see the difference. You could see what I mean by that. But I'm sure explaining stuff. So, but the other problem I had with it, the game that I knew. I don't know how. I can't remember how I knew. But the game that I knew was getting shown there, gameplay, Mass Effect Andromeda. So excited about that game. I'm such a Mass Effect fan, right? I even like Mass Effect 3. Again, it's like fucking whatever, and I never even saw the good ending. But anyway, Andromeda, get to see gameplay footage, and they've just showed me how good HDR is, right? So you got the guy. I so assumed it was going to be Commander Shepard, man, but this new guy. It's ridiculous because I was about to say, like, I don't like the look of him, but you choose how your guy looks. So I'm gonna just fucking might make him look like Shepard just so it doesn't put me off. But they showed him walking about and it looked all good, it looked really cool, whatever. And I'm like, well, that's what I would come up with. Like, that's what I would imagine it was gonna look like. And then he's walking along and he's like jetpacking, and I'm like, at first I'm like, no jetpacking, no, didn't have him fucking shooting about, because this could turn into a climbing fest. Then you've got fucking platforming and the shooter, like, I count it as like a tactical shooter, like an RPG tactical shooter kind of thing, right? God, I need a drink. Used to sex. Shout outs to the old brew here. If you're not from Scotland, I feel sad because you're not getting iron brew. Same jetpacking. He lands and I'm like, he does it a couple more times and I'm like, my mind goes from like panic mode to like, well, what if like during battle, like I really liked Mass Effect 1 when you could drive like the truck and it had the like the boosters, so you'd be like fucking, if you got really good, it was kind of hard to control at first until you kind of got used to it, but when you got used to like fucking, you'd be weaving in and out, shooting them like dead shot, shooting rockets at them, then they were shooting rockets at you, so you'd like boost up in the air and they couldn't get you. It was fucking brilliant. Like, nothing better than charging straight forward, weaving in and out of fire, right? Weaving in, weaving out, fucking jumping the rockets. It's not a class feeling. I was thinking, what if that's on like foot combat? Like, oh god, it'd just be class. Do you imagine like fucking killing some bastard, right? A Krogan's jumping towards you. Oh, maybe that's not the best option, because that would kind of annoy me. Having like kind of like out, like, so if Krogan like comes towards you and he's charging, you could just air it. But like, imagine how cool it would be, like blasting off into the air and then like aiming down and shooting while you're coming down. It'd be cool as fuck, I reckon. Then you saw him like scanning a plant. Very Metroid Prime-y. I like it. I like it a lot. I would literally just be happy if they made this new Mass Effect like wee bit bigger, wee bit nicer looking. Have that scanning feature on. Don't fuck it up. Beautiful. They don't need to add that much. That fucking scanning thing. I know it sounds fucking ridiculous, but I love the world building in that game, and The fact that you'd get these codecs, like you'd look at something and it'd be like, yeah, you got new information, but you had to go into the menu, look through this encyclopedia, having that like looking around. You scan the object just like you do Mass Effect, where it gets you the codec, but the codec comes up. So you're looking at the thing and you're like reading about it. It's such a small. It doesn't feel like it would. Doesn't seem like it would be that much of a difference. But I swear to God, that thing's gonna make so much difference if they do it right. But so they come into this like wide open area. They've got the normal like shitey, like in every fucking next gen or this generation, I guess. Um, Presentation like gameplay, especially multiplayer. They've got these folk talking to each other, and it's always like such fucking bullshit part that nobody, when they're playing games, would ever be like, yo man, go check out that room, man. I'll rendezvous with you at the next stop, man. It's like, no, no. If it's like it's not even it's like in-game Mass Effect power, and it's worrying because it's shit power. I hope that's just like placeholder shit. I would not like that if they're doing that the whole fucking game. It's just bollocks. Can't really think. It was, like you had shit power in Mass Effect, I guess on retrospect, but like it fitted in. Maybe I'll fit in. Maybe I need to play the game and know why these folk are talking the same way they are. But who knows? So they when he boosts over, right, and it's like, yeah, don't go near these enemies, they might attack, right? And I'm like, well, he's obviously gonna trip them off because he's standing on a platform and it's like got cover everywhere, and I guess like you could trip them off and then you'd have to kill them, right? But he just walks on by. I'm like, right, fair enough. That's showing you that you can avoid battles, right? I understand, I get that. So he walks into this big bit and he activates his console. Shit starts at the fan and they're fucking running. And I'm like, here we go, the first battle, right? This bitch, I'm gonna call it Liara because like she's a fucking Asari and she's just wandering about. You, and she's like running, right? They're all fucking bolting. She's running, right? She like turns around. She's like, poof, poof, right? Blasting, right? Jumps behind cover, but then they start running again. But when they jump behind cover, I was like, well, okay, boom. She's gonna pop up, and she's gonna pop up. I was sorry, I just thought of something. She's gonna pop up. She's gotta start firing. That would be the like gameplay. This is where the gameplay starts. What I just thought of is leading into that. If they had done that, and you were controlling her, how cool would it be, right? I don't know if it'd be cool. No, it wouldn't be cool. I was gonna say, how cool would it be if each member of your squad you could like jump into their body and like kick about with them, but it would make absolute no sense in a game like this because you're the character. It's weird. That'd be weird. So they're running away, and she's like lagging behind, and I'm like, she's gonna get fucked up by these monsters, and then I'm like looking, I'm like, there's monsters in amongst this, but it just looks like one big black cloud, and I'm like, okay, sound, but yeah, it got to the point where I was like, what what am I waiting for here? Like Spider-Man looked good. I'm not a Spider-Man fan. I'll never buy the game, so it makes no odds. But Spider-Man looked really good in HDR. I mean, even got caught at 4K because 4K doesn't mean a fucking damn shit. Well, it does a wee bit, but like not as much as HDR is. Oh. But yeah, that looked good. Apart from that, even Andromeda looked kind of fucking like whatever. Yeah, whatever, man. So like I'm getting to the end. I'm like, the big guns was Andromeda. What the fuck is gonna happen here? And I totally forgot they haven't fucking shown what the console looks like or what the price is, and we get like a launch system PS4 price. And while I was watching this, I was looking at the Slim. And they said this is gonna replace the current model, and I'm like, right, I understand, but I like the design of the PS4. It looks cool. These slatted diagonal design. I think it looks cool as fuck, right? So it gets to the end, they like unveil it, and like the Slim's sit next to like a PS4, and I'm like, right, okay. So where's you gotta do the same thing as you done last time, just not show it? And then I was like, what the fuck? And then I like Andrew House comes out, and he's like holding the PS4, and I'm like, right, okay, so that's the thing. That's the PS4 Pro. And I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, it doesn't look any different. Then they show us a picture. It's like got an extra slat instead of like two slats. It's like three slats. I'm like, ah. Like at the same time, I'm like, I was expecting something really cool, man. You've just fucked it. And at the same time, I was like, okay, I can handle that because that means I can get the cool PS4 if I'll ever get a PS4, which I don't think I will. Some amazing games come out for it. I'd rather have a PS4 than an Xbox 360, and it make that. I know that's obvious, but like, there's good games on the Xbox 360, but like, Ratchet and Clank, right? Horizon Zero Dawn looks good. Skyrim I'd probably buy again. Doom looks fucking class. Uncharted 4, not really my kind of game, but looks really cool. I'm really quite interested in it. That's just off the top of my head. That's like 4 games. It's like more than I can think of. It's more than fucking games that came out in the Wii U this year. It's fucking ridiculous what's happening with Wii U. I'm starting to think whether Nintendo didn't have like got stuff ready for the NX to announce, but they knew Sony was going to announce this. They're not in. They always say they're not in competition with each other, but like with Sony and Microsoft and that. But I wouldn't be surprised if they just waited until after their hype had gone, and then they could just this is our time now. You've seen the Pro. You've let it sunk in for a second. Yeah, they've got all their shit. They've got all their like high def shit. We have this like hybrid thing. It's totally different. They're all just doing the same thing. That's what I would love that. What I would love even more. And I think it'd be fucking class, right? NX, right? 1080p, 60 frames per second every game, right? Because that would appease. That's like standard, right? It's got to be standard now. Set from like, you can drop down to 30, but like, I mean, it's just technology, and it's advanced so much that yeah, like what's holding you back at this point? Except from like online play, that sort of shit, right? NX, 1080p, 60 frames, HDR. The HDR makes such a difference. You pump fucking HDR on an NX, right? You you pump it, fucking better comparison, right? You pump HDR on a Wii U, right? You bump up the power, like the processing power and shit, right? It's gonna cost a bit, right? But enough so you can like you're the lowest of the three probably, because Scorpio I reckon is gonna fucking blow PS4 Pro at the water. I reckon. I would assume because it's coming out in like fucking so many years, like 3 years, 2 years, fucking 2 years, man, 2 years to 2018, mental. Um, lower the free, right? You can still play the fucking games because the games have to be played. Shit, the bit. The games have to be played in the fucking PS4 and the Xbox One. I'm assuming for Scorpio, right? So, if they have to make games at that level anyway, fucking bump fucking like bump up the fucking processor to Xbox, no, PS4 standard specs, right? That's all you have to do. I realise that you can't even, I'm assuming the flaw in my plan for the NX HDR thing is for HDR, for you to have an HDR TV display, you would need a 4K TV anyway, because I reckon those two things go hand in hand. But you know what I mean. But yeah, if you got through this, fucking, you're amazing. I don't know how. It's nearly 20 minutes, and I'm fucking losing my voice from talking. Good job, Sony. in some regards. You're making some good choices. I also, as a really quick aside, I was thinking about this as like a lasting thing. That Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, like go back and watch the conference, right? And watch the guy from Activision that talks before it, right? Cut the bit where they start talking about, like, he starts setting up the scenario, like they're on the sun, they're coming to orbit, they're on a fucking they're on a space station. Oh, ruin the sun! I've ruined the sun! I've ruined the sun though, and it just, like, cut that bit right to the end of their trailer, like him introducing it, telling you the scenario, and then show the trailer, and then, like, take that wee chunk, right, even like 5 years back in time, show the Call of Duty fans, like, show show fucking Modern Warfare, right? Show, like, the year Modern Warfare came out, and then, like, a couple months after, everyone's hyped. Such a good game. Modern Warfare is such a good game. Call of Duty is so good, man. And then you're like, yeah, yeah, like 5 years later, they're gonna have this fucking turd. It's fucking ridiculous, man. It's like, it's just when he was, like, explaining it, I was like, out of context, you would never think Call of Duty if this was like a couple of years ago. It's fucking ridiculous. He's just, I can't even remember all, like, I'm just paraphrasing it. This in my mind sticks out. Or, like, there's an asteroid. They're in fucking, they're coming. They're trying to make the fucking space station not go out of orbit with the fucking sun, and then the trailer is them fucking. That, they're just fucking weaving. They're like running for a door. The sun's coming. I, it boggles. I can't even. Right, because it looks like the sun's coming up, but they're like at the sun. So why is it there? Oh my god! And then they get in. It's like fucking Dead Space. They show one fucking gun getting shot. That's you pumped out. They've shown you the visuals. Fuck it. Gameplay. Pfft. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody's gonna buy it. They're only buying it for fucking more Modern Warfare. Oh Jesus! I just can't. I can't understand it, man. Life's too hard. Oh, but that was me fucking talking about Sony. Hopefully soon I can talk about NX and actually be hyped. I'll see you guys later.